Hey everyone, today I want to take a look at some of the controller aiming issues in Deadfall Adventures. Getting started, Deadfall uses about a 32% square dead zone, so you have to move the stick that far before anything begins occurring. It's a little more in the corners, just because of the shape. 32% is quite a large dead zone. Most dead zones hover around 20 to 25%, and recent games kind of have lowered that to 15% in some cases. So this is quite large, and you can see just how much stick movement I can make without anything occurring in game. This kind of makes precise adjustments more difficult and aiming a little less responsive. Square dead zones also have the side effect of restricting diagonal movement around the axes, the size of which depends on, or the amount of which depends on the size of the dead zone. So at 32%, you can see there is quite a bit of restricted diagonal movement in regions around the stick where only 4 directions are output. When you cap the view vertically, it's very obvious. You can see when you have to break out of these dead zones before you start seeing diagonal movement occur. Now, of course, this makes diagonal movement wrong because you can point in directions and not get the direction you want, and all your diagonals are squeezed into these little ranges. Horizontally, as far as the acceleration, you can see that starts that increases gradually, and then there's an acceleration jump. This is only applied on the horizontal axis at 100%. So as you can see, once you stop hitting 100%, it turns off. It doesn't seem to be applied vertically. One of the other issues this game has, if you can see, this is kind of the starting horizontal acceleration. You can see it starts pretty slow. This is the starting vertical acceleration. And I'll look a little further. This is, say, about 10% into the horizontal, and this is about 10% into the vertical. So the vertical sensitivity starts out much faster, and even if we look at, say, the maximum horizontal sensitivity before turn acceleration takes over, the vertical sensitivity seems to still be a little faster. And this affects what diagonal movement you have negatively because it skews it, aside from just making it inconsistent horizontally and vertically, it affects your diagonal movement by putting a vertical bias on it. So if I point at a 45-degree angle, or at least as close as I can manage, you can see the way the cursor is moving is much more vertically. It's a much steeper angle. And if I put a very subtle angle like this, you can still see that the actual output angle is much steeper as a result. So on top of the square dead zone restricting diagonal movement and making diagonal movement wrong as a result, what diagonal movement you have is also more incorrect. So basically any vertical movement you make is feels overly sensitive. This is an issue I mentioned in my Unreal Tournament 3 video, and seems to be an issue with a few Unreal Engine 3 games. So Unreal Tournament 3, Deadfall Adventures here, but also Painkiller HD and Alien Rage are some other games that I've seen this issue occur with. And I don't know if that's a preset, but if it was, I mean, that's kind of unfortunate because there's really no benefit to the system. And this Deadfall Adventures plays pretty terribly with all these issues. I mean, square dead zones don't help it, and the differing horizontal and vertical sensitivities don't help with it on top of those issues. So this game, Unreal Tournament 3, Painkiller HD, and Alien Rage all play pretty terribly because of these issues. But that's about it. Unfortunately, yeah, this game doesn't play well, and these are kind of the reasons. Thanks for watching, and have a good rest of your day.